Hello, welcome to another episode of Rich Biz Life's Adventures. Now today I've been scratching my head to try and figure out what to do next in between waiting for stock to come in and raising a bit of money, and I had some surplus insulation left from doing the floor at 25mm, so I decided to have a go at doing this bit here. Like I've said in previous episodes, I want to try and, because I'm bringing my bed up to this level, I want to try and create as long as possible bed frame. So I don't want to have it when the main skin's out, because by that point I've lost 2 inches either end. So I decided to put the Celotex straight onto the outer skin, sorry about the aeroplane, and the ice cream van. Maybe it's an ice cream aeroplane. Never thought about that. Anyway, so what I've done with this offcut is give it a trial run, and I'm quite happy with the result. Cut the shape out, as you can see. Then I carefully marked where the window was, which basically I just pressed hard against the window and then left a slight indentation as to where the window was, and I just then cut it out. And this stuff's quite good. You can work with it a little bit like wood. You can sand it and you can router it and cut it and all sorts of things. Anyway, that's not even glued in at the minute, so I can just take that off. And then what I've done, like I said, I'll do a better cut on the next one, but it's all routed out. Take care of this inner skin and outer skin lip. So then this surface here will sit hard against the outer skin. And then the window frame has got like 2 lips, one where the runner for the fly screen goes in, and another one for the actual frame of the inner slider. For the, you got one for your wind deflector, fly screen, whatever you want to call it, another one for the glass. So you end up with 2 runners. So because you got 2 lips, I also needed to then router out around the window, so this face again can sit hard against that. I've got some fine tuning to do. I need to just raise up this bottom bit by about 5mm and then drop the top down by about 5mm. I also need to make this back corner. Basically this was an offcut and it just missed that corner out, but anyway, yeah, this, I'll show you it just. Like I said, there's no glue on that, so it's a nice tight fit. I'm now going to transfer this onto another piece and fine tune it, and then do the same the other side. I was quite pleased because I know I measured when I installed these 2 side windows, but you always got that little doubt, is it 5-10mm out, is it slightly different? But I can take this off and put it on the other side and it's exactly the same. So a little pat on the back, well done Richard and Debbie. So that's all good to go. So I'm going to put you on time lapse now, and then I'm going to cut the correct one. Okay, what I've actually decided to do is to transfer this driveway type onto cardboard first, because the notifications that I do, it'll let me try that first before I then put it onto my main insulation, because I've only got a little bit of that 25mm less. I've got just enough to do them two pods. So I'll put it on there, drawn around it, and making the modifications that I need. So now I can just cut them out. And here we go. There we go. It's a little bit too snug around the window frame now, but like I said, you can sand it down. So I've got some 80 grit paper on a block, and I can sand that down just to relieve a little bit of stress around that window frame. But I think that's good to go. I mean, maybe it could come up here a little bit more, but like I said, there's a bit of expanding frame around there, and now it's perfect in that back corner. So I'm happy now to transfer that onto my Celotex and get cutting. Okay, right, let's see what this bit's like. Right, it's looking like it's fitting alright. It's a dirty job. Creates a lot of dust. But I think from the feel of it going in there, I need to router a little bit more off the back. It doesn't seem to want pushing there everywhere else it does, so somewhere around the back here I've got to take a bit more out, I think. Everywhere else it's all good. Maybe a bit along the back here at the top. Let's just pop it off and let's see what we got. So it's professional. Looks pretty good, don't you think? Does a nice neat job. What I'll do is I'll mark where I think it needs a bit more routering out and try it again, and I'll catch you in a minute. Right, took a little bit more out, took some more off this corner, and then I just brought this line down a little bit more because I think it's just catching in there in the centre there. So what do you reckon? Is that good? Right. Oh yes. Look at that, it almost clips in. Right. Let me grab this camera. Right, it's starting to get a bit dark now, so I've had to put the light on in the back of the van. But that's where I'm on about. I'll have to put some expanding foam. Nice neat job all the way around, and then around the window, look, excuse all the dust. It's not the cleanest of jobs. Excuse me, sorry, I'm not looking what I'm doing. Alright, so what I'm thinking of doing, because I don't know whether to, I'm going to definitely foil tape over the edge, just to get rid of this sort of naked edge of the insulation. Then I don't know whether to router this edge off so that it's rounded, because I don't know what to cover this insulation with. I don't know whether to just four-way stretch the carpet. I mean, when that's expanded foam, that'll be smooth up to there, so I could four-way stretch it over there, and then when I bring either the tongue groove or paneling, whatever we decide to do, we could bring it down and have it like an inch all the way around, overlapping, so you don't see the edge. I might like neoprene insulate that bit, then carpet over all of it. But then if this is routed, I can roll it in, because it is slightly proud still, as you can see. It's like 4 or 5 mil sticking proud. Now if I router that, that will give a nice smooth edge. Let me have a think about that, and I'll get back to you. But other than that, when it's all foil taped around the edges, I'll glue it in place, then I'll expand in foam around the edges, and you'll get to see that in a bit. Oh, and I've got the other side to do as well. I won't record that, it's just the same as doing this side. But what do you reckon? Is that a good job? Yeah. Alright guys, well, I'll catch up with you in a bit. Okay, so I've used a small round over bit there, so that when I four-way stretch carpet, it just rolls into that window frame nicely. I was going to actually use some, I was going to make a frame like an L section, but out of sections of wood, and create an L section that sat in there and then framed it nicely. But to be quite honest, I don't think the carpentry skills are up to it, so I've done that, and once it's all pushed back in and bonded, That's going to create a nice soft edge for the carpet to roll into, and then I'll just tuck it in, push it in between the insulation and the window frame, and I think it'll look quite nice. Like I said, when you've got an inch of, or a couple of inches of framing going around it as well, so it'll give the appearance that it's sat in front of it, if you know what I mean. But yeah, I'll leave that one there. Don't know whether that's any benefit to you, whether you've been stuck with what to do with a similar situation. All these videos I do, they're not this is how you do it. These are all videos of how I'm doing it. Camper builds are all about making it up as you go along. I think anybody who says I plan every single detail, they're all full of rubbish or full of crap. I think you can plan to a certain extent, but 90% of the work you do, you're making it up as you go along. I didn't plan on doing this, it's just something I had to go of, and it's just a bit of a brainwave of what to do with my sheet of 25mm Celotex that I had spare, and I think it's done just the job. My plan was initially initially to 15mm neoprene insulation it, but they don't have the same R rating as this Celotex. This is much more of an efficient insulator, and the reason I rounded it out, like I said, I wanted to get it onto that outer skin as much as I could, which is why I removed them bars all the way out. I've seen a lot of people where they cut it just enough to fit the windows in, but then when I go to put anything on it, you would have seen that ripple if I'd done it in neoprene, or this would have been stood off a little bit more. I'd have had to router out that channel. And I think when this is got a smear of adhesive behind it and stickle to it, the sound deadening quality will be as good as any sound deadening mat or anything like that. So yeah, that's how I've done it. So please feel free to comment, good or bad. I'm happy with the result, and I suppose that's all that matters. Please like, please subscribe, and please share, and if you really feel like it, hit that little bell icon and you'll get to see all my future videos. Thank you very much. Bye.